Hello, everyone. Today, I want to talk about a tough topic. A tough topic because it was tragic, because it was sudden, and I do believe that it was unexpected. We hear often how um, God, the Most High, is full of mercy. We hear terms like El Malay Rahamim. He's called God full of mercy. We know of the attributes that he speaks out when Moshe asks him to show me your glory, and he protects Moshe in the cleft of the rock, and he passes by and he calls out these uh, attributes. Among those attributes are he calls his name out twice, the Most High, and then he says, he is compassionate and he's merciful. He's slow to anger. And he's full of mercy and of truth, abundant in mercy and truth. Nadav and Abihu, two of Aaron the high priest sons, died suddenly and tragically. And I want to jump right into it. And the question is, why did they die? Why did the Most High kill Aharon's two sons? Why did he kill them? We're taking a look here on your screen at Leviticus chapter 10. We're going straight to the event, and then we're going to answer the question. Not us, but we're going to allow the text to answer the question. When it comes to this particular topic and a lot of others, people often look for the deep, mysterious answer. Sometimes it's not deep, it's not mysterious. It's right there in front of us because I don't know. There's a plethora of reasons why the actual answer that the text gives might not satisfy some people. It might clash with their idea of who they believe the Most High to be. But here on your screen, Leviticus chapter 10. Starting at verse 1, it says, Vayikhu v'nei Aharon Nadav ve'Avihu ish mahtato. So Nadav and Avihu both took their fire plates used for offering, and vayitnu vahen esh, and put on the fire plates fire or coals. Vayasimu aleha ketoret, and on each one of their fire plates they placed incense. Vayakrivu lifnei Hashem esh zara asher lo tziva otam. And they drew near before the presence of the Most High, and they offered strange fire. Strange fire. Okay, strange fire, or you see it here, esh zara. Esh zara. So you hear a lot of people say strange fire, foreign fire, X, Y, and Z. But they missed the most important thing. It's not so much about strange fire, which people have written books about, yada, 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 yada. Look at the words there. Asher lo tziva, which he did not command, in the last word down here. Otam, them. Asher lo tziva otam, which he did not command them. What happened then? Vatetse esh milifnei Hashem, vatochal otam, vayamutu lifnei Hashem. And fire went forth from out of the presence, from out of before the being of the Most High, and ate them, literally, v'tochalotam, and consumed and or ate them. It's the same word as to eat. And they died before the presence of the Most High. Final verse we're going to read here before we take a little bit of a trip back, and we're going to answer the question. We're going to allow the text to answer the question. Verse 3, Vayomer Moshe el Aharon, and this is what Moshe said to Aharon. And this is what the Most High is saying. Bikrovai ekadesh. Among those that are closest to me, I will be sanctified. Ve'al pnei chol ha'am ekaved. And in the face or before all of the people, I will be honored. And where we stop here before we take a short trip back, those last two words, deafening, stoic, and final, Vayidom Aharon. and Aharon fell silent. The mama is a whole lot different than sheket, an alternate word for quiet or silent. The mama, vayidom Aharon, he fell silent. Had to be a combination of a lot of things going on in the mind of Aharon. What just happened, the whole nine, just shocking to him. We're going to take a short, brief trip back, and we're going to lay out exactly what happened. And we don't have to go back any further than chapter 8 for this latest edition of Podcast Sacrum, where the goal, of course, is to empower the believer with biblical knowledge that will bring about izun, or balance, and that balance would foster positive, forward, and upward tnu'ah, or movement, in this walk that we call life. My name is David. You know me. I'm your host. Welcome back. So, why did the creator of the universe, did the God full of mercy, full of compassion, slow to anger, full of grace and truth, why did he kill Aharon's sons? Well, let's think about the backdrop for a second here. Context is important for a lot of different reasons, but this parasha that passed recently was called Parashat Shmini, or 8th, because of the 8th day. And the 8th day was the final day of a full week of ordination for the priesthood. This is Aharon, his sons, primarily Nadav and Avihu, who lost their lives. He also had Elazar and Itamar, and then others below them. But primarily for them, remember also that it was Nadav and Avihu who were among Ziknei Israel, the elders that were called up onto the mountain, and where the text says that they saw the Most High. It uses the word related to chazon. They saw a vision like something. They did not literally see him, because no man can see the Most High and live, obviously. But this is how important they were. They were among those in the book of Exodus that went up and saw the Most High and ate in his presence. So at the end of the 8th day here, you had the full culmination of things. The Mishkan is being inaugurated and dedicated, and the whole nine. They had offered the sacrifices in X, Y, and Z. Fire came down and consumed it. And then at the end of chapter 9, it says, Yaronu, and the people sang jubilantly and joyfully and fell down on their faces before Kol Yachol, the all-powerful, the only one, the Most High, Yud-He Vav-He. So it's the height of holiness, it's the height of awe, and the height of reverence, and the height of jubilation. And then something happened. The actions of Nadav and Avihu. Are they or were they guilty of PUI? My own phrase being coined here. PUI, priesting under the influence. A lot of people say or believe that they were intoxicated. I do not believe this. The text does not support it. And I'm going to give you my 2 cents why, right or wrong, why I see it. So here we are in chapter 8. We're just going to skim through certain verses, and I want to establish and let the text establish the cause of the deaths of Nadav and Avihu. This is the beginning of it, the inauguration ceremony. So notice verse 1. Look at the pecking order here. In verse 1 of chapter 8 in Leviticus is where we are. Vayadaber Hashem el Moshe lemor, and the Most High spoke to Moses, or to Moshe, saying. All right. Now the Most High is speaking. He says a lot of things. I'm not going to read them all. Take Aaron and his sons, and on and on and on, and do X, Y, and Z. Look at verse 3. And it says, Ve'et kol ha'ida hakel, and all of the congregation. Now notice that word there, ha'ida. They're no longer being called just loosely the children of Israel. Ha'ida, the congregation. But the root word there is aid. They are witnesses, ha'ida. They are all witnesses, okay? They become something more now as this, they're drawing closer and they're gaining more intimate audience with the Most High. The closer you draw to Him, the more you change, the more your standing changes. So He, has them all there and they are witnesses to this. Now look, this is very important. Verse 4, Vaya'as, Moshe, Kasher tziva Hashem oto. And Moshe did exactly what the Most High commanded him, period. That's it. You see the flow chart so far? In verse 1, the Most High speaks to Moshe. Okay, he tells him to get Aaron and his sons and X, Y, and Z, gather them together in front of the people. Moshe did in verse 4 exactly what the Most High told him to do. If you read this chapter for yourself later on in your time, in your own time, you'll find in Leviticus chapter 8, 9, and 10 that the Most High speaks to Moshe. Then Moshe turns around and gives directives to Aharon. And then Aharon turns around and he gives directives in some cases to the people. Moshe gets them all ready, gets everything in order, okay? And there's a flow. There's a flow to this thing. There is a pecking order and a flow to this thing. Lucy here in verse 22, Vayakrev et ha'ayil hasheni. So they're making the very sacrifices that they are being commanded to do so. And again, everything is going as it should go. Let's jump up to chapter 9. Up to chapter 9. Now, on the 8th day, there in verse 1 of chapter 9, on the 8th day it came to pass that Moshe called to Aaron and to his sons and to the elders of Israel. Vayomer el Aharon kach lecha egel ben bakar. Again, on and on. There are more commandments coming out here. And Moshe has previously received these things and he's passing them down in order to Aharon. Now, I want you to look, chapter 9, verse 6 here. Again, important. Vayomer Moshe, ze hadavar asher tziva Hashem, ta'asu. So this is the thing that the Most High commands that you will do, all right? That you will do these things. Again, everything is in a flow and in an order. From the top to the guy in the middle, which is Moshe, and from Moshe to Aharon and his sons. And then Aharon can then turn around and bless the people and on, as you will see, toward the end of chapter 9. And we're getting to our answer here, allowing the text to answer the question. Verse 23. Okay. Moed, so Moshe and Aharon came to the tent of meeting, Vayitzu, and they went out. And they blessed the people, okay? And there appeared the presence of the Most High over all the people. Last verse of chapter 9. And again, it's important because this is the height. This is the height of obedience. The flow has not been broken. I hope you're tracking with me. The flow has not been broken from the Most High to Moshe, to Aharon and his sons, and then to the people. Verse 24, the last verse of chapter 9. V'tetze esh milifnei Adonai v'tuchal al hamizbeach et ha'olah ve'et. So fire came out from before the presence of the Most High and ate or consumed all of the altar, all of the olah, the sacrifice is supposed to burn up completely and go up, all of the fat, okay? Vayaronu, and all of the people, they feared, but they started, it's not shout, they started to sing with great jubilance. Vayiplu al pnehem, and they all fell upon their faces. So, in other words here, he accepted the sacrifice. Everything went according as he commanded. Everything was done according to his command. Holiness, a glimpse or a picture of his holiness, his otherwiseness, this quality that makes him who he is and us fall so horribly short. He is to be reverenced. He is to be honored in all things. This is being established. Obedience in sacrifice equals acceptance. Remember what the Most High said to Cain in the book of Genesis. Don't you know if you do well that you will be accepted? And thus far, they're doing well. This brings us back to the event, the top of the chapter. Nadav and Avihu both take their fire plates. They put fire on it, coal on them, and they put incense on them. And they offer Ishzara, foreign fire, strange fire, alien fire, doesn't matter. It's not the point. The key point, based on what the text has established, the ones that we read together, it's pretty simple. Pretty simple here. They offered Ishzara asher lo tziva otam. The Most High did not command them to do so. So the question is, what was in their heart? Does it matter? I don't think it actually matters. The fact that they did something that they were not commanded to do. I believe their hearts were benevolent. I believe that their kavanah was pure. I believe that they got caught up in, the whole situation, and they wanted to do something pleasing. And I'm going to explain why and why I don't believe that it was PUI, priesting under the influence. Because they did so, verse 2 goes on and says that fire came out from the Most High and consumed them, and they died in the presence of the Most High. Then the Most High says this very important statement that we read earlier, and he speaks it to Moshe, again, pecking order. And Moshe turns around and speaks it to, to Aaron. Bikrovai kadesh, in the midst of those that are closest to me, those that have the privilege to come into my presence, I will be sanctified. The Most High is not your boy. It's not my boy. He's not our kick-it partner. He is the creator of all things. He is loving. He is full of mercy. He is just. He is slow to anger. But in any relationship, when you're getting to know, there are lines that you do not cross. And to treat him as an idol, as things that they may have encountered back in Egypt, wooden things that have arms but cannot reach, eyes but cannot see, a mouth and cannot speak. I am not those things. I'm not those things. I will be sanctified. And I will be in the face of all of the people. I will be honored, or I will be glorified. And he fell silent. So, the reason why people believe or they support the idea of the guys being drunk is verse 9. Verse 9. I'm going to highlight only a little bit of this because this is childproof. I can't figure it out. Verse 9 says, Yain v'shechar al tishteata uvanecha itcha. Wine or strong drink. Yain, wine, v'shechar, and strong drink. Alcohol. Don't you drink it, you or your sons with you, when you come into the tent of meeting, velo tamutu, and you will not die. Hukat olam ledorotechem. This is a regulation for forever and forever. Why? Why? Verse 10, to separate or to differentiate between the holy and between the common or the profane. And between the unclean and between the pure. So I believe, first and foremost, that if you are drunk and you're not in your right mind, how can you serve or do anything for the Most High with a clean, pure intention? Are we to believe that the Most High allowed Nadab and Avihu to go through this most important day tipsy and drunk, and only when they made a mistake and got full of zeal that he decided to take them out? I do not believe that. You have to worship with your whole heart. You have to serve with your whole heart, all your heart, mind, soul, X, Y, and Z, and Deuteronomy 6, 4 and 5. You have to do all of these things with a full faculty. And I do not believe that the Most High would allow them to be in that situation and be tipsy and or drunk. But as long as they didn't make a mistake, then somehow it was okay. I believe that verse 9, the prohibition on yain v'shechar, on wine and on strong drink, was something to put in there so that hearts and minds would be in the right place. Hearts and minds would be in the right place. They came from a pure place. They came from at least pure intentions, maybe. I want to give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they wanted a little glory for themselves. I don't know. Maybe they got caught up in the whole thing and wanted to display that the Most High would respond to them favorably, X, Y, and Z. But they did something plain and simple that they were not commanded to do, and it cost them their life, and it set the tone to understand, again, that he's the Most High. He's the creator of the universe. That's it, plain and simple. He will be glorified, period, but especially in the presence of those that are allowed to come close to him, that are closest to him. He who has an ear, let him hear. Okay, that's it. That's all. Nothing major beyond that. Just the text answering the question. Were Nadav and Avihu guilty of priesting under the influence? No, they were not. They were not drunk. I don't believe that the text supports it. I just believe that the text sets up some specific barriers to make sure that people are in their full and their right mind when they're serving him, so that their focus can be in the right place. Because I do believe that those boys did everything right up until, a point, and then they dealt normally with someone who is other than normal, otherworldly, different. Kadosh, he's holy. Okay, that's it for now. Good talking with you. Let me know what you think. Give me your input. Give me some feedback. Tell me, hey, you're way off base. Here's what's going on, X, Y, and Z. Let me know what you think, okay? Until the next time, take care, everyone.